Level 1. You show up early. You leave late. You keep your head down like it's part of the uniform. You wear the same hoodie. Your hair's long because you don't have time for a haircut. You have a tattoo peeking from the cuff and a coffee stain that won't quit. At work they see the hoodie. They see the hair. They call you sloppy, unprofessional. They talk loud so everyone hears. You pretend not to notice. You answer emails with the same calm voice you use with suppliers. You smile when your manager interrupts your lunch to ask if you'll settle for less. You smile because it's easier than arguing. You carry 2 schedules in your head. One for the job. One for the store. Both run on the same heartbeat. Both demand you show up. One pays the bills today. The other pays the bills forever. You believe that. Quietly. Almost secretly. You build while you work. A product page here. A supplier message there. A customer question at midnight. You choose the hours most people waste. Waiting rooms. Commutes. Between meetings. You push pixels and margins, late into nights your colleagues forget exist. You don't tell anyone because ambition sounds arrogant in break rooms. So you keep it small. So you keep it to yourself. You like the intentional anonymity. It helps you move. It keeps the eyes off. And it keeps your work honest. Level 2. You start with one product. A small thing. A well-designed answer to an annoyance people didn't even know they had. You test copy. You test images. You test price. You iterate until the quiet nights feel like sculpting. You learn ads by failing them. You learn suppliers by annoying phone calls. You learn margins by spreadsheets with too many zeros. You stop asking for permission. You start asking for numbers. You watch conversions like breath. You watch CPCs like weather. You sleep through alarms you set for 2 a.m. You answer customer DMs before your morning shower. You get small wins. A good review. A repost from someone with a few thousand followers. A steady trickle of orders. It feels fragile. So you whisper to yourself that fragile can be rebuilt. That night you move the needle. You see patterns. You scale the ad that works. You tweak the shelf image. You find the supplier who actually delivers. Your store runs smoother. You breathe differently. You don't tell your coworkers. Not because you're secretive. Because you don't want their pity. Or their jokes. Level 3. They start treating you like a subplot. Small digs. A joke at your expense. You stand at the coffee machine while someone makes a joke about that look. You laugh. But it costs you something. It costs the part of you that wants to shout back. You begin to map where their judgments come from. They equate tidy with trust. Your untidy appearance equals a lack of ambition in their shorthand. They can't see the nights. They don't see the spreadsheets. They measure you by the office lights when they leave at 5. You learn to wear calm like armor. You learn to let it roll off. But on the inside you stack small victories like currency. You touch the store dashboard between meetings. You check sales during lunch. You plan product launches between conference calls. You keep moving. And in the quiet hours, something grows. It grows like a rumor. It grows until the numbers are louder than the jokes. Level 4. One night you wake to a ping. You used to get pings for messages from suppliers. Tonight is different. Your phone buzzes 12 times in the span of a minute. You swipe. Traffic. A landing page blowing up. Organic shares. Paid ads finally click. Customers queue. Orders stack like a skyline. You sit down. The screen blinks. You breathe. You watch your dashboard like a heartbeat monitor. The number moves. Then it leaps. You scroll back to the beginning. A micro-influencer mentioned your product. A Reddit thread found it. Your ad set hit a lookalike that actually looked. At 2:14 a.m. the profit line crosses a figure you've only ever dreamed writing down. $1 million in profit. Not revenue. Profit. You blink. You read it again. Your hands are steady. Your heart is loud but your voice is not. You step outside into the cold. You breathe night air like a secret blessing. You call no one. You send no screenshots to anyone who might dismantle your piece. You wake your partner gently and say, "Come look." You don't celebrate loudly. You feel the size of it. It's real and all at once it's a weight. You think of the years of small choices that led to this. Every rejection. Every late night. Every adjustment. It all compresses into a single, extraordinary line on a screen. You sleep with the light of the dashboard still in your eyes. Level 5. Morning is a theater. You walk into the office like nothing happened. You wear the same hoodie. You make the same jokes. You answer the same emails. Your coworkers make the same small talk. You decide some truths don't need to be broadcast. Then your manager calls you into his office. You know the cadence. You know the silence that means thunder. He starts with low-level complaints. Not meeting expectations. He lands on the real line, "You're a distraction." There it is. The dismissal, casual as cleaning a plate. He says it as if compassion would smell like favoritism. He says it as if your appearance were the only currency he could understand. You listen. You let him finish. At one point you want to show him the bank alert. To place the number on the desk like evidence. To watch his face rearrange. To watch the small room expand. But you close your mouth. You keep the screen to yourself. You feel the old urge to prove. So you walk out. Calm. Not because you don't feel anything. Because you feel something else. Better. You feel free. Level 6. Outside, you pull your phone from your pocket. The notification from the bank is still there. Your hands are steady now. You laugh quietly. Not from glee. From relief. From comprehension. Your boss's words sound thin beside the truth of the numbers. You call the logistics partner. You call the supplier. You answer customer emails with the same measured kindness you have for years. You realize something simple. They fired a version of you. Not the one who plans lunches at midnight. Not the one who negotiated better terms with factories. They let go of a human whose value they couldn't measure. They refused to see the ledger. You were building in silence. And silence, tonight, spoke in $1 trillion currency. Level 7. You go home and sit at your desk. You don't make a dramatic video. You don't tell the office to eat their words. You make a plan. You hire the first person you need. You automate the first process. You pay yourself a salary that doesn't feel like pinching. You call your mother. You tell her the number. She cries like they taught you to cry when grateful. You sleep differently now. But not because you have money. Because you have choice. You can get dressed however you want. You can stop answering emails at 11:59 p.m. You can set boundaries because time is now yours to price. You know the temptation. To swell the story. To become the person who never left the office. You promise yourself something smaller and truer. You will remain the renderer of quiet work. You will keep the nights that birth this. You will hire people who earn the right to be called co-workers. You will be the boss you needed. You will show up with warmth, not judgment. Level 8. Weeks later you walk past the office window. You catch the silhouette of your manager inside. He looks up, as if scanning the street for familiar insignia. You keep walking. You feel neither triumph nor spite. You feel simple gratitude. Your hoodie is new. It fits better. You bought it with intention. You close your phone and look at your screen. Order numbers scroll. Customer praise pops up. Problems arrive, as they always will. You solve them. Not because you have to prove anything, but because you love the work. The $1 Million Night taught you one thing. Money changes options. Silence shapes destiny. Disrespect reveals values. And the quiet grind was never proof of weakness. It was an investment account of effort. You walk into your studio. You flip the light on. You begin the day's work. Calm. Focused. Relatable. And finally, free.